Yo, what's good, YouTube? What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back welcoming you to the Friday night chop session with Stormy B-Man for this Friday, March 11th, 2022. And we're having episode number 146. We're calling this one The Roar of a Lion. I want to say welcome to everybody out there, those who will be catching me live, those who will catch me on replay, those who will come in late, those who will leave early. Welcome everybody, man. We're here at the end of another week and just here to talk about some boxing news, maybe have a few laughs along the way and another chance to commune as we all come together out here in the community to discuss this sport that we profess to love so much. So I noticed that there's a couple of questions out there, like my man Big Homie Coop was asking, are we having technical difficulties? No, I'm using a different software and there are some bugs that need to be ironed out, but everything is playing like it's supposed to. It's just that Stormy's got to make some adjustments and that will come. But my last couple of live streams, you may have noticed the productions have been a little bit different. Setups have been a little bit different. And that's simply because I'm trying some new things. And that's the only way to get better is if you get out there and start doing it, right? So that's what we're doing here. No more, no less. And we're going to get it together eventually, so I want to say thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see what it's gonna be, man. I mean, we take this journey together. You know what I mean? So, how you guys doing this evening? I want to go and see if I can go back and do a little roll call here. We got the brothers out here. Big Homie Coop in the building, as I said a moment ago. Saying salute, Sifu. Stormy B-Man, back smack the like button, people. Class is in session, so pay attention. And salute to all the family in the chat. Appreciate you, Big Homie Coop. Yave is in the building saying salute, Sensei, and salute chat. KG84 is back saying salute, Sensei, and salute to the chat. Boxing and barbecue, that's my brother right there. In there, he's saying, what's up, Stormy? What's up with you, boxing and barbecue? And Alvin Davis in the building with us saying, salute Stormy B-Man and the chat. All right. And like I said, Big Homie Coop was asking, was it technical difficulties? No, things are sounding a little different and appearing a little different because, I'm trying this new software, doing some things over here on the StreamYard that people use. And I'm not so adept at StreamYard, but I'm learning some things. My man Scrapbook Boxing is in the building saying peace to my brother Stormy B-Man. And for all y'all listening out there, man, I'm going to let y'all know, I'm going to put Scrapbook on the spot, man. He said last night in my Kung Fu Film Focus show, he wrote in the chat, oh, he loves Kung Fu films and has a collection of them and everything. Do you guys know, as much as Scrapbook and I have talked, he ain't never talked about no Kung Fu, man. I'm like, he been holding out on the brother, man. That's a whole different conversation right there. But salute to you, Scrapbook, man. And I'm glad to be acquainted with a fellow Kung Fu enthusiast. You know what I'm saying? Welcome, bro. AJ64 is out there saying peace, Stormy. Peace to you. Let's see. Everybody else saluting each other. We got Mr. Pac-Man out there saying salute, big dog. Shogun76 is back saying salute, Stormy. He got that show enough avatar, huh? Eric O is out there saying salute, Sensei. Salute to you as well. Yeah, man, it's Friday. We're at the end of another week. It's been a long week for me. Getting up early, going to work in the morning. I'm telling you, I see retirement on the horizon. Stormy would rather snooze, hit that snooze on the clock and be getting up there in that cold air, man. That, cold air in the morning. That's, I don't know. At least don't have to deal with it until the sun come up, but the sun ain't even up yet. You know what I mean? Because the sun thaws out a little bit. But I'm telling you, man, you get up in that morning and it's like, we call it the Hulk here in Chicago, because that Hulk and his cousin, the wind chill factor, they'll do a number on you, tag team you, get that coat up over your neck, put that hat on your head. Yeah, they be coming for you, the Hulk and the wind chill factor. And they ain't nothing nice. Salute to Tay Tay out there. I see you. She says, hello there, Master Seafood. Appreciate you stopping in. Yeah, man. But spring is coming. And how do we know? They're starting to release more scheduled bouts for us to enjoy on the boxing schedule. Word has it, next week, there may be some more announcements. Maybe PBC is going to announce their schedule, Showtime, and we can all look forward to that and relish that. And we'll talk about some of that stuff too, because that's all inclusive in the week's worth of news. But I'll tell you something. This weekend, I think from what I saw, the boxing that's on the horizon for this weekend is like a little bit not the major leaguers. And that's okay, because, sometimes when we look forward to the bouts, we have to get through some of the minor fights before we get the major fights. I know it was recently announced that Jamal Charlo and Jaime Munguia on Juneteenth. That's going to be very interesting, And we could talk about that a little bit. Now, a few other fights have been talked about, but man, I don't know. We have to see. We got Alex Santos out there. He's saying, salute Stormy in chat. Salute to you. And he's saying, Stormy, what do you think of Charlo versus Munguia? I honestly doubt that is going to be an April Fool's joke. Hey, man, listen. It's a fight that should happen. These two young talents out there, they're the type of fighters that should be fighting one another. They are contemporaries. They're existing in the same time, space, and championship contention. These men should be fighting each other. That's what I've always spoken about. And I'll continue to maintain and, uphold my considerations of that. The fact that these two guys are talking about getting in the ring or negotiating, hey, let it take place. Don't you want to see it? And I'm going to tell you something. This fight is not necessarily a cakewalk for Charlo. And it's not necessarily a big test for Munguia. It depends on who is showing up on the night of for both guys. And we saw in Charlo's last fight, he was having some difficulties. We saw in Munguia's last fight that he took his opponent out after faking like he was hurting for the weigh-in and everything, because I still think he was faking. He's a good actor. I think Munguia got a career on the silver screen when he finished boxing, because he had all y'all fooled. He's like, oh, he's weak at the weigh-in, and goes out there and hits the guy upside the forehead and knocks him out. Yeah. But this is the kind of fight that both men will be tested. And I'm gonna tell you something. Maul may be not so much that competitor's edge that he used to have. You know, he's had a chance to enjoy some of the good life, you know, material things and stuff like that. And, you know, it's kind of hard to, Marvin said it, it's hard to get up and be that warrior and everything when you're sleeping on them silk and satin sheets, man. So this is the type of fighter, Munguia, that will ask some questions of him. And if he's still the competitive fighter that he was when he was at 154, he could ask some questions of Munguia. You know what I mean? And I hope the fight does take place, Alex Santos. I want to see this fight just like I want to see so many of the others. I want to see the fight with his brother and Castano. Huh? That's a fight that needs to take place. I know there are rumors that the fight was on the wall, you know, and they you know, due to a so-called injury and stuff. We don't know if that's true or what, but we would like to see it. You know, we want to see that rematch. We want to see who's the man at Undisputed. And though I jumped right into talking about the Charlos, that was the reason for the name of tonight's show, The Roar of the Lion, because we recently had sound bites from Charlo Jamel after his interview with Brian Custer on Brian Custer's show. And he went on there and said some things that, you know, expressed himself like only he does. Wasn't necessarily popular things being said, but the man, you know, he exercised the right to move his lips. It's just that sometimes the things that come out of him are not only parental guidance is suggested, but maybe a little reserve, huh? And discipline suggested as well. But all of those guys that out there compete at that weight class with him and everything, they have a right to try to go and shut his mouth up for him, huh? That's how you handle that. And that's the way you handle it. In the ring, get in there and close his mouth. It's happened before in the past to other fighters in that type of situation. But we need to see the fighters act out, do their thing, huh? That's what I say. But let me take a quick moment out to say something about Guillermo Rigondeaux before we go further with the show involving the Charlos. Reports are that after that terrible cooking accident that saw him lose his eyesight, the early word now is that Guillermo's sight will return. And thank God for that, man, that this man, if the reports are true, I'm only hearing that information secondhand, but let's put it out in the universe that he's going to be okay. But if his sight does return to him, God bless. You know what I mean? Because that's what we want. We want this man to be in the great standings for his quality of life that he come to live and expect. And Guillermo, get somebody to cook for you, bro. Stay out of that damn kitchen, huh? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But if that news is solid, I am hoping and praying that the brother makes a recovery. Yes, sir. And let's get back to the chat for a quick moment. We got some more people out there. Alex Santos laughing at me talking about the tag team of the Hulk and the wind chill factor. Yeah, man, they be on you, man. Anybody from the shop can tell you that, bro. They can tell you. It ain't no joke. You can go any place. You can go to the Arctic and you don't get the Hulk and wind chill factor like you do in the Windy City, bro. No, you don't get that. Wind chill factor. Y'all can look that up and it'll explain what it means, but you won't even understand what it means till you bring your butt here in the dead of winter. That's when you find out what that that's what that means. And that you know, you could say what they wrote in defining it when you Google it or whatever, they was lying, huh? They was lying. Yes, sir. 704 Joe is in the building. Salute to you, brother. MPWTF is with us tonight as well, saying salute Sensei and chat family. And Charles Granger is back, saying salute Stormy. Salute to you. Excuse me. Alex Santos says, I hope Charlo versus Castano 2 goes smoothly without any issue. Man, that's an issue waiting to happen, bro. I'm just going to put it out there like that. Antonio Hambrick is in the building, saying they was hoping, Sensei, that we could stop black excellence. God bless Rigo. Yeah, man. God bless that brother. And get out here and acknowledge my brother William Old School Arden out there in that super chat, man. We appreciate you, bro. He says, salute Stormy B, man. Salute to you. All right. Eric O is saying, yes, indeed. 704 Joe says, great for news for Rigo. Yeah, man. We really want the best for our brother Rigo, man. Great fighter. And if that means his sight returns, that might mean he could still fight. Even if he doesn't want to fight no more, that's fine too. But let's just hope for his health and well-being first. Okay. William says, been working late all week trying to catch up on the bills. Hey, man, William, understand this, bro. You ain't gonna never catch up on the bills, huh? Until you pay the final one. And you know what that final one is, huh? And after that, there ain't no more, huh? And they can't get no more out of you. So just remember that, huh? And you tell them that if they get to breathing down your neck, huh? That's right. But salute to you all the same. Charles Granger says, this cold ain't nothing nice. You better believe it, bro. Better believe it. Man. So, yeah, but we got my man Rigo out there. Wanted to just put that out there about him, man. But I saw some good interviews this afternoon. There was a nice interview that Katie Taylor gave on the DAZN network with those two dudes who work over there. You guys know who they are. They be out there, and they were asking her questions. They sure didn't ask her the questions I would like to know the answers to, but you know, salute to her all the same. Katie Taylor seems like a really nice woman with a nice personality, very reserved, but her boxing ability is nothing like that. It's like she has a switch or something that she turns on to compete in the ring. But it was good to see her. They kind of interviewed her for a while. She talked for about 20 minutes or so. And get a little insight coming from her for her upcoming fight against Amanda Serrano, which is going to be their big fight, you know, coming up in April. And what a fight, huh? It's like that's right around the corner, man, next month. And it's the type of fight that we as boxing fans love to see, when the best of the sport gets in there to compete with one another. Now, allegedly the date for Shakur Stevenson and Oscar Valdez will be, you know, around the same time, that same date. And I heard that they've even discussed staggering the fights so that they don't overlap one another, which is a good thing. But if they're discussing that this early before we get to the promotion, that's pretty cool. That means there's a certain amount of respect there. Probably couldn't change the dates because there are other things happening in professional sports around that time. And so they may want these guys to be able to have their cards and still have the boxing public tune in, give the support that they can give and what have you. But that's a great day of boxing. Great day of boxing right there. And just like their fight card says here, it says for history. This is going to be bigger than when Layla Ali fought Christy Martin, and when Ann Wolfe wanted to fight Layla Ali. This is bigger than all of that. So these two accomplished women are going to bring the best that they have from the women's division of boxing and entertain us. I look forward to it. I have really enjoyed what I've seen from women's boxing over the past 14 months or so. And with people like Jessica McCaskill and Baumgardner and, man, women, Clarissa Shields, of course. Man, women's boxing is in great hands, people. Great hands. You know what I mean? I'm reading the comments in the chat here. I read that about Charles Granger said this code ain't nothing nice. And Boxing and Barbecue says, laugh out loud, not the final bill. Yeah. Boxing and Barbecue. Yeah, Stormy can be kind of morbid, can't he? Yeah. The final bill. Huh? That's when they play that song for you. The final countdown. That's right. When you up out of here and you ain't got to worry about nothing else. Huh? That's right. Each and every one of us got an expiration date, bro. Why do you think I come on here sometimes and just act a fool and say whatever, because listen, that's life, huh? That's life. Yeah. 704 Joe, I was like, Ann Wolfe and Layla Ali, that was a proposed fight. Now, apparently Layla never wanted it, because if Layla wanted the fight, it would have happened. But that was the biggest fight in women's boxing back then, when their careers were running, concurrently. But I'm not saying it was signed or it was a fight that happened. I was suggesting how big the fight was, speaking of it then. But here we have the biggest fight in women's boxing that's actually signed and gonna go down. That's why I say it's for history. This is, Roy Jones and James Toney. This is, that type of a thing. Has that type of luster. Tyson and Holyfield. That's what you're seeing here with these two ladies, man. You gotta give it up for them. Yahweh says, I gotta have 2 TVs on then. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Or at least your laptop or something. Be able to check both cards out and just enjoy. Listen, this is quality stuff, man. And the fact that they're fighting in Madison Square Garden, man, that's for history. You know what I mean? That is like really, man. I am on fire for this fight. I gave an example of what it was big like. This is Spence and Crawford. This is what it is. That's how big that fight is. And hopefully they put on such a match that it could call for a rematch. That's when you know it's something. And look at how they just came together and made the deal. None of that posturing and stuff like that. It was suggested about a little over a year ago, but that wasn't the right time. And Serrano has really built herself up to a place where the respectability is there, the credibility is there, and so has Katie. And Katie revealed something very interesting in her interview that I saw earlier this afternoon. She spoke about her past couple of fights. She fought with an injury, and she stated that the injury was a torn calf. interesting because people were talking about her effort was like a little less than you would normally expect from her, but she never complained about it and she never mentioned it. And it took these guys when they were interviewing her to pull that out of her because they were trying to ask her, have you ever been hurt or injured or anything going into a fight? They happened to ask the right question. And with the little pressing from them, she didn't really want to tell them. But then she went on and admitted it. And of course, they told her, they said, hey, well, at least you never complained about it. You didn't make an excuse or anything, you know. But she said, well, I'm just the kind of person, I don't, I fight. I go out there and I fight. So I got a lot of respect for her because she is just trying to make the most. She did speak about one day having a family and marriage. Apparently the career is first. You can't do anything but respect that. You know, I had some thoughts about, like, is she a woman that wants to give birth, or is she going to adopt or something like that? And I'm not even pressing to know the answers to that because that's her personal business. But I'll tell you this, she did say that, for right now, her focus is on fighting, but she would like to enjoy a family one day. Overall, it was a pretty darn good interview. Now I would like to see a nice interview where we get a sit down from Amanda Serrano. This young lady says she don't even have a man in her life. And that's amazing within itself because, as fine as she is, that, people might be coming after her, huh? But she's focused on her career. So kudos to these women who are dedicated in the right way and showing other fighters professionally what it means to live the life of a fighter, huh? 704 Joe is asking, who would you say would win? Hey man, as we get closer to the fight, I'll give my thoughts on that and give a breakdown, but it's far too early. Let's just pump it up and hype it up now, huh? One moment I'm gonna be talking for Katie, one moment I'm gonna be talking for Amanda. It's like, listen, we want to see the best out of this, huh? And that's what boxing has to offer. That's how you should look at it, man. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. Deeply Goated is out there saying, salute Stormy B, man, and chat. I'm not the biggest fan of women's boxing, but the way you guys speak about this fight got me convinced. Listen, Deeply Goated, go on YouTube, go on DAZN, and look at their past fights. Just these two women. It is not hype. These women can fight, man. And the thing about it, because they are, like I said, they're the equivalent of like Bud Crawford and Earl Spence in women's boxing at welterweight. You know what I mean? It's really, it's the lightweight division for them because they're lighter as women, but they are the equivalent of those top fighters. And they made this deal, boom, just like that. They've been respectful at press conferences with one another, showing professionalism, and their track records speak for themselves. Yes, Katie has had a couple of fights where it was close. You know what I mean? But I'll tell you this, she's a winner, huh? And you have to defeat winners, huh? Antonio, what is this? Eric O says, yeah, she's fine. Antonio Hambrick says, Sensei, she looks like a girl that likes girls. Hey, man, listen. Nowadays, the way people choose to live their lives, their love lives, hey, it's on them, man. I just want to see what she does in the ring. I ain't concerned with what she does behind the curtain. You know what I mean? Neither one of them. Yeah. But I'll tell you this, what they do in the public in that ring is damn sure exciting, and they give the best of efforts, more than I can say for a lot of these dudes that are out here wearing skinny pants, huh? And showing their ankles and stuff like that. What the hell, man? Carrying man bags and stuff like, man, don't get me started, bro. Huh? Don't get me started talking. Listen, these women, let's see them do their thing, man. This is the Ali Frazier of the women's divisions, man. Yeah. Ronald Haskins says, I can't support a woman who don't want a man because I want my daughter to see the other highly aggressive feminine women. Ronald, the way you raise yours and the household you live in is nothing wrong with you having your thoughts and feelings about that. But man, we here to talk about boxing, bro. You know what I mean? Don't get hung up on that. What about what I just said about some of your favorite fighters out here wearing them skinny jeans and popping their neck when they talk and stuff like that and have feminine-like behavior? Why don't you criticize them? Because those are the male models that your daughter have to grow up and have to pick from, huh? To have a mate, a husband, huh? Really? These men out here with these feminine behaviors, bro. Huh? Running their mouth and gossiping like women and stuff like that. Huh? Painting their nails and stuff. Man, don't get me started, bro. That's what you should guard your children from. These dudes out here, bro. Salute to Dr. Mark Stearns, flawless mentality out there. He says, salute to the God, Stormybman, the teacher fam, and the gods and beautiful goddesses of the family. Salute to you. And Dr. Stern, I heard that phone call you had over there on the brother Mark Nash's channel, man. Y'all had me rolling, man. I didn't catch it live, but he uploaded the clip, and I caught that clip, man. That was so funny, man. You guys were going back and forth talking about Bud and Spence. Had my side hurting from laughing, bro. Salute to you, man. Salute to you. And Antonio Hambrick is saying, ain't nothing wrong with that. Just shows she's not going to be distracted. And he says, hello, Russell Westbrook. Yeah, man. You know. Yeah. And he says, yeah, let's talk boxing, please, man. Yeah, man. Angie Wise Fool is in the building. Salute to you, Angie. Good to see you back. And you guys are laughing, man. Listen, man, I can talk about them feminine dudes, man, because it's like, hey, and I'll tell you this, Emil Griffin beat somebody to death over that mess because the guy was saying he had sugar in his tank. But you got to be a hell of a fighter, man. You're going to talk that stuff and back it up. But I'm still saying, if you want to set the record straight, set the record straight. Be who you going to be. Don't be pretending out here, huh? Don't be pretending. Huh? Flawless Dr. Mark is laughing. Hey, man, I just tell it like it is, man. I just tell it like it is. But hey, man, Joe Joyce is in the news recently, too. I saw a video with him earlier. He did an interview. And this dude right here, bro, let me tell you about Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce has he's been off the scene, and I had wondered, like, what the hell happened to Joe Joyce? He had been very quiet for a minute, right? And I found out that Joe Joyce, he had got injured, man. Dude got injured, and he was on the sidelines. And the thing about it is, he had a terrible injury to his left arm. Now, you know, he has a heck of a jab, right? My thing is, what the devil did he do to his left arm? Because he showed it on a he showed it on on an interview he did, but the arm, and I'll show you guys just briefly. I'll play a little bit of this interview, but I can't show the clip. I'll just, if you could see that where his arm is, let me try to pull that in where you can see it up close. Look at that arm, man. Now he said by May or so he can come back and fight, but that was surgically repaired. I don't know if he broke the arm or what, but Joe Joyce hurt himself pretty bad. So that's why we hadn't seen or heard from the guy. And the arm still looks kind of ill-formed there, right? It don't look straight. So I don't know what he did. The lady asked him, and he still didn't really tell her what he did. He kind of mumbled, you know, but you could see where there's a surgical scar there. And he's back, you know, in the gym doing light bag work and stuff, he said. But, you know, he beat the crap out of Danny Dubois with that left hand. And so now, if that left is not going to be good anymore, that takes away one of his greatest strengths outside of being able to take a good punch and having very good aggression. So I don't know what's going to happen with Joe, man. But he, you know, he gave this interview and he talked to her a little bit. I'll play some of it so you guys can hear what he had to say.
So like, I brought the ulnar, and then I had an operation to just repair it.
Are you back punching?
Yeah, I think next week. Yeah, I've hit the bags like lightly, but I haven't been like properly doing pads or bags or sparring or anything like that. So just, I think next week I'll start to like hit some things a bit more.
And you're gonna go back to Vegas to train Salah?
Yeah. So I can like shadow and stuff like that. So it's, you know, it's from strength to strength and lift weights and stuff. So all good.
How long was you not being able to lift weights for?
So I think it's like 8 weeks so far. And yeah, I'm like in a good place. I'm ready to, you know, start learning again and putting punching again. 2022, I have I think 2 fights, really good fights. Yeah, while this, you know, these other guys fight, and then I think 2023 is going to be my year.
When do you think you're going to be able to fight again? May, June time?
Yeah, I'll be out in May. You know, I could just have an easy fight. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to have fight someone who's of merit and you know, is like top 10. Someone at that level, so top 10, top 20. You know, like a good fighter, because there's no point in me taking like a really easy fight and then knocking them out in 2 seconds, because I'm not going to keep my skills active. So I need to have someone who's like a good test, and I can then go into the bigger fights against like the Furies, the Joshuas.
After obviously Fury White in April, how do you see that going?
Fury White, I think it's going to be a good fight, but I see Fury as being the bigger man, like using his long range shots like jabs and stuff, and movement is going to be key, because Dylan White's going to, you know, like try and close the distance and get inside and work the body and stuff, but Fury's like very good at footwork and moving around, so I can only see a Fury victory, but I think Dylan White's going to, you know, do his all and try, and like, you never know, it's heavyweight boxing, so you could hit him with, like, nail him down. It's going to get a great reaction, because a lot of people have not been able to travel as well, and so now it's a chance for such a big fight. It's just going to be massive. It's going to be carnage. It'd be good to get to the weigh-in and the press conferences and I'm sure they'll be going off.
You just mentioned Joshua.
Yeah.
Do you think him having a sort of rematch against Usyk, do you think he's got a chance to beat him?
Yeah, I think he's definitely got a chance to beat him. If he does or not, that's down to him and like how rough and tough he makes it in there, and if he can actually land a big shot on Usyk, because Usyk's got good head movement and footwork, and he knows exactly what he needs to do to beat Joshua, like he displayed in the first time. So it's now down to Joshua to really pull it out of the bag and bring it home.
Yes, sir. That's coming from the Juggernaut. And nice little interview that he did there. And he talks, you know, like a person that understands, you know, the sport. You know what I mean? Listen, I want to see the guy back. I didn't know he had hurt himself, though. And I don't know how long ago it was that he hurt himself. So it must have been a little while ago, because he's already back in the gym, starting to, you know, do some things physically in the gym again. But that arm looked like it was jacked up. He must have broke it or something, you know, doing something. You know, he's in the martial arts too. So he could have been doing something. Who knows what the Juggernaut was doing, man? Who knows? But very interesting there. Eric O says, that's a hell of a scar, right? Definitely, man. I'm like, what the hell? And when she asked him, what did you do to yourself? He didn't never really answer the question. He was like kind of mumbling or something. And I listened to it several times, and I cannot tell you what he said, because it was a mumble. It was like he didn't want to reveal what he's done. But it looked like he might have a steel plate in there or something. That's as far as I'm looking. You know what I mean? But yeah. And Antonio says, yo, Sensei, they not putting Herkovic in against Mr. Joyce. No, they ain't gonna put him in there with Joyce, man. That's a fight that ain't gonna happen. Huh? Dr. Mark is saying, hey, I can't stand that effeminate perspective in boxing or anywhere else publicly. It's fine to have a difference of opinion, but keep it 100. All these, avoid all facts. Zero masculinity. Absolutely, man. And all that talking and screaming and shaking your neck and all of that foolishness, man. What is that, man? Feminine type behavior, bro. And Ronald Haskins says, so what will Clarissa versus Marshall fight be, since those two ladies are compared to Tony versus Jones? First of all, Ronald, take your time in, typing out your message, bro, because I read that the way I think it was supposed to read, but go back and read that for yourself, huh? They don't call me the sensei for nothing, man. When you start writing in my chat, you make sure you make complete sentences or something. Yeah, I don't want to have a conniption trying to read that stuff. But I made the likeness of Tony and Jones because at the time when they faced off, they were the equivalent like Spence and Crawford. They were the best in the sport facing one another. Huh? Now, Clarissa versus Marshall is not the best of the sport facing each other. Clarissa is the best, but Savannah Marshall is nowhere near Clarissa with her accomplishments or anything. She's just someone who's been built up and has used Clarissa's name and fame to assist with building herself up as if she's some formidable adversary or something. But that's not the case. Huh? Who the hell has Savannah Marshall beaten? How many belts has she acquired? Huh? How many former champions or present champions has she beat up? And Clarissa has done so much more and moved down while doing it. Savannah Marshall has fought a lot of fighters. Clarissa said this herself, that had, she fought a lot of fighters that were I'm trying to think of they were like late substitutions and stuff, because some of her opponents didn't get full camps to fight her. Huh? So that's being exposed. So, that's the one thing I really like about Clarissa. She can tell it like it is when it comes to that kind of thing. Huh? Yeah. She'll tell it. William Old School says, Stormybman always tells it like it is, which is why I like his channel so much. I appreciate you, William. And you know me, man. I will tell it like it is. I will. Sometimes it's going to make some people unhappy. Huh? Make them ball their fists up and crunch their toes. But you know what? You better keep your fists to yourself and your toes. Huh? Because though I like Kung Fu, I'm going to tell you something else. Ain't nothing wrong with Gun Fu. Huh? That's right. Salute to Ashley's Corner in the building. Salute, Queen. How you doing? She says, salute, Stormy. Salute to you. Good to see you out there, sister. Good to see you. Huh? Yeah, Deeply Goated is saying, I hope Joyce can come back from this. I thought he was the best heavyweight not to have held the title. Yeah, that arm, man. And let's not forget, that was his battering ram of a punch. That jab he had, man. I have spoken several occasions about how Joe Joyce reminds me of a latter day George Foreman. You know, he don't punch as hard as George, but he has some similarities in his aggression and the way he presents himself in the ring. And he's constantly moving forward. A lot like Big George. Ronald says, AJ is not winning against top heavyweights. You can say that again. Antonio Hambrick says, a high key can break your arm even if you block it. Is that a kick? Kick. Okay, yeah. High kick. Salute to Bruce Goes out there. I see you, Bruce. He says, salute my brother Stormy B, man. Salute to you. Flawless mentality. Dr. Mark is out there laughing. I guess I say some stuff. He's out there laughing. Salute to my brother, the African sci-fi scholar out there in that super chat, man. He says, did Joyce get a metal rod placed in his arm to help with his KO power? Laugh out loud. Hey, man, we need to nail him down and find out what happened. Then we'll know how that injury was treated. When that reporter was asking him, he wasn't so enthusiastic about revealing it, huh? He wasn't enthusiastic at all. He was kind of like, oh, I was there. Then he started speaking. Yeah, so I'm back in the gym. I'm like, what did you say before that, bro? Huh? You was talking some gibberish. And now you went from talking in alien language, and then you come back and you start talking in the Queen's English. If you don't sit your butt down somewhere, bro, he probably hurt himself doing something stupid. That's what he did. Huh? Yeah. These guys, bro, I tell you, they do all kinds of stuff out here. You have to stay on top of them. That's why I say some of the people that give these interviews, they don't know how to question these guys. Huh? If you guys ever see me when I'm on there with Drew Titan in the Strong House on Sunday evenings and we be talking to these fighters, man, notice how I talk to them. They respect you when you come straight to them, huh? Because you keep them on. You don't give them that room to wiggle out of there and BS you, huh? But you can't be playing around. You got to be on the up and up with them, and they'll be on the up and up with you. That's why you get some of these idiots that say the stuff that they say when they being interviewed, and they sound all ignorant and everything, because they playing up to that. These guys give them that loophole and they dive right into it. I don't give them loopholes. Yep, I zip that hole up. Huh? That's a wall right there. You gotta face the music, baby. Huh? That's right. Face the music. Huh? And I'll tell you, they respect you more for that too. They do. Because remember, fighters follow instructions. So they are tested. And that's why weak trainers, get changed up, booted out and everything, because they yearn for the discipline. But if you don't have it to implement into what they're doing or incorporate it into what they're doing, they're not going to respect you. Huh? They'll be thinking that they the boss. Huh? You ain't gonna be the boss of my gym. I'm gonna be the boss of my gym, huh? But you can take these two shoes, huh? And head toward the door with them in your behind. That's right. Yeah, Ashley, you say what happened to Joe Joyce? He's coming off of a severe left arm injury. He showed it on the interview I just played a little while ago, and he had a long scar on the arm and looked like it was stitched up. Maybe even have a plate in his arm. But he's just coming back to the gym, so he's been out for a while. and that's why we ain't heard from him, and he ain't fought. So he suffered some kind of injury, but he wouldn't tell the lady what he did to his arm, and you know, possibly because he at this particular time he don't want nobody to know how bad that arm is, huh? Till he builds his strength back up and everything. So, but yeah, man. King Vonnie is in the building. He says, "Peace, Stormy B man in chat." Who else we got out there? Flawless is laughing. Dr. Stearns, I'm cracking you up tonight, huh? Ashley, okay, I got that one. 704 Joe says Sunday morning, Stormy B man's call-in show, 10:30. Join us, call in. That's right. Tell a friend. And G5 Gabe is in the building. He says, salute Sensei, Stormy B man, and chat family. Salute to you, G5. Angie Wise is cracking up too. Ashley's cracking up. I said something that made y'all laugh, didn't I? Y'all must be talking about my gung fu comment. Yeah. Pew, pew, pew. Yep. My dad told me a story about a gunfight, man, and that's been on my mind since he told me. And he told me that about 20 years ago. But it was, you know, it was appropriate because it put me in a certain frame of mind about how to handle some business. That's all, you know. You guys are still laughing. Ashley say, oh, that's gonna make Joe even slower. Hey, Joe's speed is deceptive. He is not slow, he's quick, which is two different things. But I'll tell you something. When he's in there, that guy, he seems to cut the ring off on people and they can't get away from him, can't get out of his way either. And did y'all hear that interview where Anthony Joshua said he stopped Joe Joyce in training, in sparring in one round years ago, and he said he'll do it again? I'm like, man, Anthony Joshua is on another planet, man, with what he has to say about stuff. The dude is so unrealistic, it's unbelievable. He's like a kid, you know, like a badass kid that just says stuff off the rafters, huh? It's crazy ass. Anthony Joshua, man. You got Usyk problems, dude. Out here, got the nerve to be talking about what you'll do to Joe Joyce. I'm like, man, Joe Joyce. Psh. And by the way, it's like, yeah, let's talk about it. Look at this picture right here. I'm putting up a picture. Alexander Usyk is shoving that jab right into Anthony's mug. And it's not even like a jab because he it's a straight left because he's a southpaw. You know, it's power punch. But look at where AJ's hands are, y'all. Look at where AJ's hands are. Now you see, how is he gonna take it to Usyk and he don't even know where to position his gloves, huh? Now I know this was caught in the midst of action, but just look at it for one moment and diagnose what you're looking at, huh? This dude is 6'6". Usyk is 6'3". He ain't got a hand anywhere near protecting himself, huh? Nowhere near. But he gonna knock somebody out in one round. Fool, you gonna get knocked out in one round. This foolishness, man. African Sci-Fi Scholar says, Joe ain't no spring chicken either. Ain't he like 39? He's about the same age as Wilder, I think. But even in saying that, Sci-Fi Scholar, man, some heavyweights take good care of themselves. I don't think Joe is going to have a problem. I don't think he really will. It's just a matter of how long he wants to box or whatever. There are good fights out there for him. Just remains to be seen. I bet you he'd give Tyson Fury some trouble. I bet you that. Bet you that. That's why you hear Fury talking about, yeah, after this fight, I'm gonna retire. Yeah, you're gonna retire because there's people out there waiting on you, homie. Huh? I hear you, Dr. Mark. He says, I love you, Stormy B, man, my bro, but authentic honesty is usually hilarious, especially when an intelligent orator spits that knowledge. Well, you know, Dr. Mark, I have my way, but I'll tell you something, man. I ain't lying, am I? I ain't lying. But let's look back at this fool here, AJ, with his hands beneath his own shoulders, pulling back while Usyk busts his nose up. Huh? This right here, man. Boxing 101, not what to do or what not to do. Huh? It's right there in front of your face. But he's going to knock somebody out in one round. That's what he says. I call BS. Huh? Don't you? If he says he going to stop Joe Joyce in one round.
Man, this is some bullshit.
He thinks. Listen, man, I can tell you, nobody is probably happier for the Ukraine war than AJ. Because check this out. Since the war, and you can check this, right? Do a fact check. Since the threat of the war with Russia and Ukraine, AJ done got brave all over again. You notice how he talking crazy now? All these sound bites and stuff, he's saying stuff. It's like AJ got word that, hey, the coast is clear. You ain't got to worry about nothing, huh? Because this is getting ready to go down. So we can pump you up, give you interviews. You could talk as much as you want. You ain't got to worry about nobody running up on you and none of that, huh? Because you know, Usyk looked like a madman anyway with them crazy eyes he got, right? So you can't tell half the time if he laughing or if he want to kill you, huh? So it's like there's something going on with that dude. You know, it just don't look like a person that's wrapped too tight. But AJ done got real brave, huh? Talking about the Jeff Ports and all of those guys who was his, you know, his role models and all that. He talking plenty crazy crap. But that's just like if you ever grew up in the hood and there was always this dude who talk mess. But when you up on him, he don't say nothing, huh? But when he get across the street or down the street, he's like, yo, your mama, you know, and you got to go chase him and everything. But it's like when he up on you, he quiet, whistling, ain't saying nothing. What up, yo? You know? You got to go after that dude. That's AJ. Big old 6 foot grown dummy out here talking crazy like that. Let's see AJ call out Big Baby, huh? Big Baby Anderson, huh? Dubois, who knocked him out in the gym, huh? He talking about knocking somebody out in the gym. Dubois done knocked you out in the gym. Let's see you fight him, huh? Or Lawrence Okoli or those guys, huh? Yeah, talking all that foolishness, man. Usyk over there in fatigues and everything, going to battle in a real battle. And this man over here talking reckless. He even got word that Deontay ain't gonna fight back. I mean, fight again. So now he dropping Deontay's name every few sentences or something. Yeah, you know, I'd like to have another fight. You know, somebody like Wilder, huh? Dude, sit your butt down. You had a chance to fight Wilder like years ago and disappeared off the map, huh? They couldn't find you, bro. They sent them, what they call them, drones out for you and everything. You was hiding, huh? But there's still a man out there by the name of Luis King Kong Ortiz. I don't hear you calling him out, huh? Yeah. This guy blows me, man. It's like I don't like to talk about the dude because he's ignorant, huh? He's ignorant. He's just full of muscles. That's it. There's been plenty of those dudes, and all of them usually ended up in the same place, laying on the canvas opposite somebody, which you've already done that as well. So, you know, but you out here talking crap. Y'all know I ain't telling no lies when it comes to AJ, man. Dude is so full of it, bro. Salute to my brother Yahweh out there in that super chat. He says, I'm coming for them belts, boy. yeah, right, Yahweh. Yeah, because I'm coming for them belts, boy. You know? Did you notice, and I don't have that clip. I know brother Drew Titan and everybody else got that clip, but I don't have that clip to play for y'all. But when he started talking like that, he was staring off into the distance like he was trying to recite for something that he rehearsed and meant by remembrance. He's just trying to, am I saying it right? What an idiot, man. You know, we used to call guys like him big goofies, huh? He's a big goofy. Yeah, saying this stupid stuff. Get your butt in the ring and fight Joe Joyce. Get your butt in the ring and fight Danny Dubois, Lawrence Okole, Big Baby Anderson, huh? Fight a rematch with Dillian White. Fight Luis King Kong Ortiz. Fight some people, man. Stop running around talking junk. You're going around visiting American boxing camps and gyms like you gonna select someone from pristine stock or something. Man, if you don't sit your butt down somewhere, you big goofy, huh? Yeah. You a big goofy. When I was in grade school, we used to call them big old marks. You're a big mark, huh? Nobody care about your muscles. Peanut brain. Shoot. I'm telling you, man. This is Ashley says, facts. See, you know when you're on the right track, when the sister come in and she just give you one word response. Facts. St. Louis Mix in the building. He says, salute to the sensei and family in the chat. Salute to you, bro. Good to see you. He says, smash the like button, family. Yes, sir. Dr. Stern says, this is great for your mindset because facts and funny and it's great for your soul. Hashtag LDBC. William Old School says, same thing I said, Stormy B, man. AJ acting brave, using Wilder's name, but if Wilder was still fighting, all you would hear is crickets. Of course, man. He said Wilder's name more times. Hey, and shout out to Tay Jones, right? Because check this out. You know AJ be watching our content, right? But didn't Tay Jones announce it like pretty much a couple of weeks ago? That, you know, Wilder's in a good place economically and everything, and it's looking like he may not come back and fight. He may just go on off into the sunset and do his thing. AJ saw that. Man, he went to the mirror. He shaved, huh? Still got a jacked up fade on that peanut head of his, and he started loosening his tie, put his silk shirt on. He said, I'm going to go do some interviews, Mike. And he went out there and started talking crap. He been talking crap ever since, huh? He saw Tay Jones stream. He was like, now, that's coming from his boy, eh? So I know he's not coming back, eh? So, yeah, that's what he did. He watched Tay stream and got brave off of that. Line it up, people. Him talking all this crap recently. Even talking about, oh, I'll take a tune-up fight. I'll even fight Wilder. Really? Wilder as a tune-up? Man, if you don't sit your butt down somewhere, bro. Yeah. Think about it. That's exactly what he did. That's exactly what he did. He heard us talking. He's heard because he listens. He's in BFTB's channel all the time. Huh? He is on there, especially where he could get some word about Wilder or something. He's gonna be there. And he heard Tay. He probably listened to Tay every time Tay go live because he wanted to see if Tay gonna say something about Deontay. Yeah. You know I ain't lying. You know I ain't lying, bro. He done hit the roids. He done hit the weights in the gym and everything. Feeling full of himself. Huh? Talking so much crap, man. It's like, dude, sit your butt down somewhere. Salute to Andrew Charles out there. I see you, bro. My man Watcher is in the building. He says, remember the video you made of Joshua and Wilder when AJ gets loud, when Wilder has a fight booked? Yeah, bro, I did. Man, Watcher, salute to you, bro, because you know, huh? I did that video a while back, right? But that's exactly what he does, man. And when Wilder schedules a fight, here come AJ mentioning his name and stuff like that. When Wilder has nothing going or he just finished the fight, he don't say nothing like, I want him next or I got next or nothing like that. You can't even find him. He's somewhere on the beach with some dudes lathered up in some baby oil or something. Huh? Can't get an interview out of him then. Yeah. Gonna have a man barred from the stadium, the arena, if he tried to come there while he was fighting. Who does that, bro? Who does that? Such foolishness, man, with this kid. I'm gonna get off of him because it's giving him too much shine talking about him. You know?
Emotional damage.
That's AJ, emotionally damaged. Huh? Yeah. Sitting up there talking crap about people that he know he ain't gonna fight. But yeah, let's get back on this on the boxing tip. You know, earlier this week they had a presser for Shakur Stevenson and Oscar Valdez. Huh? This right here is a good fight. It's a good fight. And this is the type of fight. This might be Leonard Duran 1 all over again. This fight right here. It might be. This is an early look into the fight. I'm not calling these two guys as good as the former guys and their names, but styles make fights. And Valdez is a tough SOB. He really is. He's fought with a broken jaw. He's aggressive. He's coming off that huge win over Miguel Berchelt, which always gives a fighter a little extra something, right? And Shakur's coming off of his victory over Jamel Herring. Now, the thing about Jamel Herring is he doesn't necessarily reflect the toughest of guys, but he was a pretty decent boxer, huh? And Shakur took him to school. But this fight, Shakur may be tested with his will and consternation. That is something that we need to see. It's a very good fight. They are contemporaries. They're fighting in the same era, and it is time for these young men to do their thing. Now, something that was a little bit telling about this fight presser is that Valdez decided to go through the whole presser without taking off his sunglasses. I didn't like that. Take them damn glasses off so you can look people in the eye and everything. But that doesn't mean it's a sign of weakness or nothing like that. I just said we need to see your eyes, huh? So, but salute to the African Sci-Fi Scholar back out there in that super chat. He says, if you want me to fight Wilder so bad, why don't you fight him? From AJ. Yeah, there you go. African Sci-Fi Scholar, and salute to you, bro. And we appreciate your super chat donation, man. Yeah, this guy, you know what that reminded me of? Back when I was watching football here in Chicago, the Bears, huh? We had a quarterback in the early 2000s. His name was Rex Grossman, right? Now he out there throwing interceptions and fumbling the ball and everything. And you know what he said at one of the post-game press conferences? He was like, well, the fans, if they don't like it, they don't have to come. I was like, fool, these are the people that pay your salary. And they got him out of Chicago quick. I think they built a special missile or something and tied his behind to it and lit the fuse and just shot him out of here, because he didn't last much longer after that. Rex Grossman, if you guys can remember poor quarterbacks out of Florida, huh? That was him. And the Bears had drafted him. Why? I don't know. And he was the quarterback in the Super Bowl against the Indianapolis Colts when the Bears went to the Super Bowl, and he kept fumbling the ball and throwing interceptions. That's why we lost the game, because of Rex Grossman. Rex, the fans can stay at home, Grossman, huh? That sounded like AJ, huh? Saying the same things. You fight him then, huh? Oh, punk. Mark. Sit your butt down somewhere. I'm telling you, man. You can't make this stuff up, man. Ashley laughing. Yeah, William says, what about when Wilder was going to show up at his fight and AJ wanted to have him thrown out of the arena? Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That's what I was saying. You're going to bar the man from the arena. He coming all the way from the U.S. to watch you fight and mention that he like to get in the ring for a face-off after the fight if you win, because it'll be good publicity. And AJ made some comments. Watch it if you still out there. You probably remember these comments. He made some kind of comments like, we don't have to do a face-off to promote the fight. This is not wrestling or something. Are you serious? Are you serious? Fighters do it all the time. He was just making more excuses as to not face Wilder, bro. What a chump. And y'all just drew me back into talking about AJ again when I was trying to talk about Shakur and Valdez. But yeah, listen, man. Valdez should have had them shades off, man. We needed to see his face, huh? We needed to see his face. But Shakur got off a real good one, though. He said that the dude had a big ass head. He said, he was looking at Valdez's head. He said, I can't miss. He's like, I gotta make sure I aim for his chin though, because he said you could break your hand hitting somebody on their head. My man Shakur Stevenson, man, he had me cracking up. I said, yeah, look at Shakur. He cracked on it. Listen, Valdez's head is big, ain't it? It's like Manny Pacquiao, bro. Maybe that tea makes your head swell up. Huh? Oops, did I say that? Oh, man. Sorry, not sorry. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Everybody laughing. Salute to Kwee. I see you out there, sister. She laughing too. The #1 grinder is in the building. Salute to you. Underrated Darkness. He says, salute Stormy B, man. And chat, good evening. Yes, sir. Ashley said his head got his own zip code. That sucker is like, kind of huge, huh? It's kind of huge. And he didn't want to take them shades off. But Shakur was like, man, that dude's head is really big. St. Louis Mix says the reporter told Valdez what Shakur said about his big ass head, and even Oscar had to laugh. Yeah, he laughed because I saw that interview too. I was like, man, the dude head is kind of big, right? And just wait till they make it to the fight, the weigh in. His head gonna really look big then when he drain his weight down. Man, I tell you, boxing is something else, ain't it? We go through a lot of stuff. Even the fighters, of course, they put themselves through a lot because they're fighting. They're actually taking physical punishment. But we put ourselves through a lot too, trying to support these fools, right? It's like, man, it should be just like clean cut. Doop, doop, doop. Go do this, go do that. But we go through all these hoops and flaming hoops and everything to get to this stuff, man. I'm telling you. But I love this sport though. I love it. I love this sport. And like I said, this is a good fight. This is not a Shakur ain't gonna blow him out. He ain't gonna blow Shakur out. But they're gonna ask questions of one another that prior to each's career, those kind of questions haven't been asked of the other yet. That's why it's a really good fight. It's a good fight. Yes, sir. Let me go back for a moment here. We got the African sci-fi scholar out there. He says, I got a feeling Shakur versus Valdez gonna look like Floyd versus Gotti. There's a reason why he tried to duck Shakur. Maybe. And I'm not saying he didn't duck Shakur, but it's interesting to consider these things. I'm going back up in the chat for a moment. African Sci-Fi Scholar says, yup, old Rex from Florida. He was a gunslinger though. Yeah, well, they slung his ass up out of Chicago because that crap did not fly here. One thing about Chicago is you could be a horrible quarterback, but when you're a horrible quarterback and you talk stuff about the fans, that's the fastest ticket out of town that you will ever see. It don't matter what position you play, but especially if you're a quarterback. because they will get you the hell out of here. Huh? You got the nerve to talk shit and you can't play either? Get the fuck out of here. Huh? That's what they do for you, man. And Rex found that out easy. And when he left Chicago, that was not, listen, this is what they should have said to him before they put his ass out of the city.
Nigga, next time you hear grown folks talking, shut the fuck up, here.
That's right. Pretty Tony, tell him what's up. Rex Grossman talking about that fans don't have to come. Man, the Bears organization was like, neither do you. Bye, sucker. Get your ass out of town. Boy, I tell you. William says, he says, hey, Stormy B, man, at least Valdez doesn't have pink hair wearing a skirt with painted nails. Look here, man. That ain't what those guys do. Those guys are all about the machismo over there. You understand? That you ain't gonna see in their culture men running around like that. And if you did happen to see one, it'll be short-lived because he be in somebody's ditch in a coffin or something somewhere because they handle their business. Huh? We the only ones that don't know how to handle stuff. Huh? Yeah. St. Louis Mix says, excuse me, I got to clear my throat. St. Louis Mix says, I think Valdez is better than Gotti. We'll have to see, though. Oh, yeah, he's better than Gotti. He's not a punk. You heard me say this fight is going to be like Leonard Duran won. Duran was a hell of a fighter when he fought Leonard that first time around. It's a good fight. But I do believe it's going to be a revealing fight for the talents that they have. It's going to be a showcase for both men. You'll see Valdez be brave, and you'll see Shakur try to be, what's the word I want to use? Technically proficient. You're going to see that. But Shakur's not going to get through this fight without being tested. His heart, how tough he may have to show himself to be. Because remember, Leonard was thought to be a pretty boy and everything till he got in there with Duran that first time. And he had to dig deep and fight Duran. And that's when people, realized, oh, Leonard, he ain't just a pretty face. You understand? That's the difference. That's the difference. And I talk about it all the time. These are the type of fights these guys need to have in order to be able to show their wares and show what they bring. We could talk about them on paper all day, but on paper is just that. You can freaking erase paper. We need to have the tapes. Huh? We need to see the real thing. We need to see the real deal. We need to see them in the ring, contesting, beating on each other, and see who is the better man. That's what we need to see. Well, Ronald, I see what you're saying, but again, thank you, Bud Crawford, huh? Thank you, Bud Crawford, because yeah, it forced the hand a little bit, but again, y'all think about, oh, Bud is suing Bob. Blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? This is what we get out of that, huh? So enjoy, huh? Enjoy. Because I'm going to tell you something. If they didn't make this fight, this is all you had to hear.
Hey, you see something? You know you done fucked up, right?
No. I said no. I said I pulled into the garage
You know you done fucked up, right?
So they got to make the fight, man. They got to make the fight. Huh? I did a stream. I talked about what it meant for Bud to do that lawsuit and everything. You're seeing the results of it right now. You're seeing it. This is what that's about. The ripple effect of Bud's lawsuit. We're getting a great fight here. Huh? They just put Valdez's ass on the line. Hey, man, you're going to have to take one for the family, huh? Valdez was back there. He was like sniffing and shit, you know, like when you cry. So his eyes was probably a little red. He had them shades on when he went to the presser because he didn't want nobody to see them red eyes, huh? But I'm gonna tell you something. Shakur was laughing because he was like, man, that dude got a big ass head. That I thought was hilarious. And salute to Shakur for saying it, you know, because some people, they'll hide comments and stuff. They won't say it all publicly. Shakur was like, man, that dude head so big. He thought he was going to a football game. I got y'all cracking up with them little memes, huh? Yes, sir. Antonio says, I agree, Sensei. Steroids or not, his style, even with no power, will test Stevenson. The come forward relentless style, that heavy pressure. Yeah, the things that Jamel Herring couldn't do and wouldn't do. But that's okay, because if Shakur is good as we believe he is, he gonna shine even brighter. That's all. And Valdez gonna have to take a butt whooping. And that's okay, because he's built to take a butt whooping, huh? That's why no ducking was of essence, because if you're going to lose the way you lose. Now, I don't think Shakur is going to stop him, but then we might get surprised, won't we? That depends on how high the stakes Shakur wants to raise. Sometimes these young men have something in them that they don't know until it's brought out of them, huh? Yes, sir. And Boxing and Barbecue says, agrees, Stormy. He says, this will be a good year in boxing, I think. I think so as well, man. I'm excited, you know. William Old School says, Shakur has a big old target to hit for sure. Yeah, he do. Flawless is out there laughing as well. And the African sci-fi scholar back in that super chat, he says, that's why I respect Bud's lawsuit so much. He opened doors for brothers like Shakur and others to come through. Yes, sir. He says, hopefully they pay it forward. That is a wonderful remark. And African sci-fi scholar, thank you so much for your super chat, man. I'll leave that comment up there for a moment, because people really need to take heed of those words. Bud's lawsuit is doing something for the sport, man. It's not a selfish thing. It's a selfless thing. And it's an intelligent thing. That NBF, we got to shatter that. See, once that got out publicly, we were then placed in a position to fight against it. See, they didn't expect us to hear that. They didn't expect someone to reveal that to us, but it was revealed to us. And see, now we're doing our part, because we talk about these things. And I'll tell you something. This is just the beginning, because of across the board, these are the kind of things that we need to do to support our fighters, huh? No matter what network they fight for, what channel, what station, huh? Yeah. That's what that's all about. And we have to be good and vigilant in this. See, we could have a differing of opinions when we talk about who we think gonna win a fight and this and that, but we should never be off code. And the code is to make sure that people know what's happening. We have to report the real news. We have to report the facts. We have to expose the corruption. We have to bring out the brooms and dustpans and the mops, huh? And the fabuloso, huh? Because a lot about boxing stinks. But once we clean up, we sprinkle some fabuloso over there. It'll be fresh as a daisy, huh? But we have to talk about it. We have to do these things. Stop arguing over foolishness. Hold people accountable. That's what we have to do. Yes. So again, that's a great comment there about a brother, African Sci-Fi Scholar, man. Absolutely. We got the brother Ronald Haskins out there in that super chat as well. He says, what do you think about Bud versus Boots? The winner between Spence versus Ugas get the real best number 3 to clear all doubt instead of Bud just waiting on Spence. You know, Ronald Haskins, no answer to that question will be pleasing. And I'll tell you why. Spence and Bud should have fought like 2 years ago. Honestly. Before the accident, everything, the fight was right there. They didn't fight. Now, there's so much interference being run in between it. I'm starting to think like what my original thought was going back a year ago. My original thought was that fight ain't going to happen. And because these men, both men, have allowed so much interference to be run, it easily can be taken off of the table. Keith Thurman did not come back to the sport for no reason. You know how we discussed Dillian White being a buffer between Deontay Wilder and AJ? That's all he was. That's the only purpose he served, being a buffer. Thurman is now the new buffer on this side of the pond. The guy had no interest in being active against a younger Spence when he was coming up to challenge and everything, a younger Crawford coming up to challenge. He had no interest in those two men. He faked injuries. He stayed inactive to the degree that they ended up stripping the belt from him. Salute to you, Scrapbook. I see you, bro. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you big time. Thanks for stopping through, bro. The whole thing is when the best want to fight each other, they will fight. That whole this side of the street, that side of the street, both men have come out and admitted that they do want the fight. It was being held up by, different things, and they shouldn't be negotiating in the public, which those are things that we all knew anyway, right? But it still happened, but the fight didn't happen. So my thought process on it is this. If it happens, great. But I ain't getting my hopes up on it, man. I just gave earlier example of the ladies from boxing, Serrano and Taylor. They going right for each other, man. They gonna make the best purses they ever made in their career or whatever. You had a reporter working on the PBC side, Tony Smith, coming out talking about the people won't buy the fight with Earl Spence and Bud Crawford. That's the best fight in boxing. Even through any heavyweight match you're talking about, because Deontay Wilder's off the market now. Any heavyweight match you're talking about, light heavyweight match you're talking about, super middleweight, middleweight, junior middleweight, welterweight. That is the fight in boxing. Bud Crawford and Earl Spence. Regardless of who you like, who you support, who you want to win, and all of that foolishness. Why aren't we getting it? Who the hell cares about your Dennis Ugas? I'm sorry, but I'm just saying that because no one really does. So, Boots is coming up. But so is Oscar, what's his name? Virgil Ortiz. You got Rashidi Ellis out there. Jamal James. Imantas Stanionis. You got a lot of fighters out there. Those men should start mixing it up. Bud against Boots is a good fight. But I don't think it's the fight because he's got the unfinished business at the top of the division. But if that fight took place, there's a good chance that you would never see Spence and Bud. Because if Bud loses to Boots, Spence won't be necessarily interested in fighting him, Boots, because his aim is to move up anyway. But I tell you this, just like you guys are clamoring, it's almost like people want to see Bud knocked off. Light that damn fire under Virgil Ortiz. Let's hear the pressure get turned up on him facing Boots. Huh? Yeah. Bring his ass across the coals. And let's see him be called to action. He's supposed to be the future, right? Well, what is Boots? Chopped liver? So that's my thought about that, Ronald. That's my thought about that. Antonio Hambrick, interesting comment you made, but it's too early, man. It's too early. You say Boots is my pick to be the greatest of his generation, and I can't take UFC gold to watch him fight live 3 years from now. He just needs the test, and that's it. Listen, I've seen a lot of fighters have talent, and they think the world of them. And something happens and they get sidetracked and derailed and they never reach that potential. I'm not wishing that on Boots Ennis. All I'm saying is time will tell. 3 years from now, we'll see where he is. Hector Camacho, and I've given this example before. Hector Camacho was one of the great lightweight fighters. Fast hands, fleet of foot, good power, aggressive, a showman. And he was a mental case, but he could box. He could fight. Then all of a sudden, in a fight where he was outboxing Edwin Rosario, he got hit with a shot that rocked him like never in his career. He did everything he could to survive that round and remain on his feet upright and everything. Then he got hit with another shot at another point in the fight, and he ended up winning a close decision there. But that one fight, with those couple of shots that Rosario landed on him, changed Hector Camacho's fighting style for the rest of his career. Something about that fight and what he saw when that light flashed from the shots that Rosario hit him with made him say, you know what? I'm going safety first from here on out. We never again saw the aggressive, assertive, macho Camacho who went in there and really looked to decapitate opponents, because that's how he was before that Rosario fight. He would pick spots in a fight where he would really bore in on a guy. And I always felt like if that guy was the one that showed up against Julio Cesar Chavez, that would have been a fight for their era. But because he had switched to this guy who was safety first, pat, pat, tat, tap, run, hold, run, he was never the same. You would have thought it was two different fighters. And I say all of that to simply say that, what if that happens to Boots? You've seen his gifts. He's got fast hands. He could switch from orthodox to southpaw. He's got very good power. Snap. He's fresh. He looks like that new car that, man, I got to give me one of those. But man, one punch on the chin, as Emmanuel Stewart once said, a left hook will change all of that. And I'm not wishing that on him. I'm just saying that's something that can happen. And you guys talk about these fighters like that doesn't exist. And I'm not pointing anyone in particular out as I'm making this statement. This is actually like a teachable moment where I'm saying, leave space for growth, yours and the fighters. And that space of growth is your knowledge of what you're witnessing and how you assess where a person is, given the talent that they perform against and the challenges that they incur along the way. A natural process, you will see growth and you will see lessons and things of that nature. But if somebody's just winning, looking great against whoever, and then they get in a tough fight and they fall apart, who's foolish? You or that fighter? You for not knowing that can happen to that fighter. Where's Chris Colbert today? My people, these people, they ain't talking about him now, are they? Neither are the rankings, huh? Yeah. You see? In the twinkling of an eye, or a 12-round fight, the differences can be made. No, Antonio, it's not. It's like, remember, I don't say these things like condemning. I want you to open your mind up. I said when I saw Boots the first time I saw him, it was only like what 4 fights ago that I saw him for the first time. I was like, oh, this kid looks nice. I said he's got Roy Jones like talent. I didn't say he was the new Roy Jones. I said he has Roy Jones like talent, meaning that he's very athletic and quick with things that he can do, but I've seen it before because I use Roy Jones as the example. And soon as Roy slowed down a little bit for guys to keep up to him, guess what happened? He started getting knocked out. Bernard Hopkins fought almost to 50 before he got knocked out. And he didn't have Roy Jones like talent. He was a more technically defensive guy, smart and crafty, kept himself safe, kept himself in great shape, kept a 32-inch waist for well into his 40s. Father Time is undefeated though. And Bernard found that out the hard way. He said he was an alien, but he found out he was just a man. Huh? Yeah, that's like, boy. Antonio says I wasn't in my right mind. That's why I apologize. That's all right, man. We all step outside of the dome sometimes, huh? Nothing, nothing wrong with admitting to it. I admit it to myself. Some days I'm like, man, I'm having a brain fart. You know what I mean? Have information in your head and you're trying to think of names and stuff, and it's like it won't come to you. Then some days everything flows like water. Salute to Khan Shanery out there. I see you come into the building. He says, this can become a humbling reality for Rolly once he gets his chin touched by Tank as well. What if Tank gets his chin touched? I wish the advisors and the managers of Tank take them damn training wheels off and let the man just go out and do his thing. Turn him loose. Yes, sir. Khan says, Buddy McGirt was given a game plan to beat Roy after Roy was slowed after coming down in weight after moving up to heavyweight. Apparently, it was Eddie Futch that told McGirt how to prepare Tarver. Didn't have nothing to do with weight. And if Eddie Futch was involved in any aspect, Eddie Futch had fighters who gave Ali his losses. Joe Frazier, Ken Norton, Leon Spinks. Eddie Futch worked with all of them. And Ali lost to all of them. Eddie Futch knew how to beat athletic fighters. And Roy Jones was an athletic fighter. There are certain things technical-wise that you do to offset the athleticism, especially if you can box and you have good technical skills. You have a good toolbox. That athleticism don't mean anything because you can only run so far and you can only move so fast. And within that, if the other guy's doing everything he needs to do, he makes it difficult for you. I got you, Antonio. I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna go back to this comment that's a little bit back because it's a great comment. Eric R in the building. Salute to you, bro. He says, no reason whatsoever for Ortiz and Boots not to be fighting. They are not champions, so there's no super fight to build. Let them get it on now. What are they waiting for? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And if they meet again down the line, they meet again. There's nothing wrong with getting it on more than one time. I said it many, many times. Rematches help substantiate the sport. Yeah, so when I talk about these things, man, it's like I usually cover all the bases. I really do. It's up to the fighters to iron out the particularities, but the information is there, man. Antonio says Sensei boxing is great. He says Stormy, what's up with that? He says fighters don't rematch for ish. Yeah, the real fights that should be rematches, right? Boxing and Barbecue says that's true. J-Rock and Lubin got right back in the mix. Yeah. Con Shonery says Futch recommended countering Roy with straight shots whenever he threw one of those wide shots. It's exactly how Tarver nailed Jones in the second fight. Con Shonery. The shortest distance between 2 points is what? Nobody help him out. Nobody write it in the chat but Con Shonery. The shortest distance between 2 points is what? And Roy Jones' best punches were what? I'm waiting. I want an answer, Con Shonery. I want an answer to that. Antonio Hambrick, I talked about that the other night. Why not? Huh? Deeply Goated, I see you. He said, Stormy, do you think Roy could have been better than what he was? Yeah, if he had decided to sharpen up his tools as far as being a boxer, but he wasn't interested in that. He was interested in flash and dash, and he was also interested in being spectacular because of his talent. You see how he's training Eubank Jr. right now? He's got Eubank fighting like he fought, but Eubank don't have his type of talent. He could train Boots Ennis to fight that way. Boots can get away with a lot of what Roy got away with, not Eubanks Jr. You see the difference? And you're right, Con Shonery, straight ahead, a straight line. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. So if Roy is throwing hooks, looping right hand, left hook. If he's throwing right hooks and left hooks, and Tarver gets low and throws his punch straight down the pike, which is what caught Roy on the chin, you beat him. Tarver's shot was a timing shot. Roy's shot was like what he usually lets fly. And because they were familiar with one another and had fought one fight already, Tarver was adjusted to Roy's speed and power. So it was just a matter of being available when he threw the shot. Eric R says, I got to glue my fingers closed to keep him from answering. He answered. Yeah, but that's what that's about, man. When you guys know those things and you watching what you watching, that's why I talk about, hey, look at Boots looks good right now, right? But one timing shot from a guy who is experienced and knows what to do and everything, it could change his whole world upside down. Deeply goated. So you remember that, huh? He says you did mention on Drew's channel that Roy was a hooker with heels and everything. Sometimes I surprise my own self with those doggone comments, man. They just roll off. Hey, man, I see a few names that came in late, right? Why my likes haven't gone up with those guys that come in? Please hit my like button, man. It tweaks the algorithms. It puts me in a higher standing in the analytics when somebody's searching for content. My content won't pop up if you guys don't hit the thumbs up for me. If you don't hit those likes for me, man. You know, why I gotta ask, huh? Some of you was somewhere else digging in garbage cans and stuff, and you decide to stop by. At least when you stop by, hit the like button, man. Huh? Hit the like button. Huh? Ain't no garbage over here, huh? You get a full course over here, huh? But you got a BYOB, huh? But you get a full course over here. No garbage. Yep. So, but yeah, man, we've come to the end of the show. Can you believe it? I kept you guys engaged with another Friday night chop session, man. Talking this boxing talk. And some of you hung in there for the duration. Others, just like when the sun comes up trying to catch Dracula, y'all skirted off into the night. That's okay. But hey, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. But I'm gonna get on up out of here, let you guys go ahead and enjoy your weekend. And we'll catch you guys on the next one, man. Peace to everybody out there. Do something good with your life this weekend. Enjoy yourself. I'll be back on Sunday with the call-in show. And we'll see what else we can chop it up about. Peace and salute to the mighty LDBC. And you brothers out there and sisters out there, take it easy. Be cool. Huh? And we up.